Drew McIntyre is challenging Seth Rollins to a match at the Royal Rumble for the ECW title. If he wants to show at the Royal Rumble, then fine, you're on. It will be Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the ECW title. I thought he was done with ECW after New Year's Revolution. Clock strikes 12 on the goddamn outside. Corin is declaring himself into the Royal Rumble. And when he does, he takes the title he holds so close. Seth Rollins. Andrade, Cien, Almas. Jumping Jay White. One man stands tall to start the new year. And it is El Idolo. Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is ECW. Rest your weary head, little ones. The show of the week has arrived once again, with of course another excellent card on its way for you. We are very close to the Royal Rumble, there is no doubting that, but that does not mean we can let off the gas pedal for one solitary second. We are ready to continue on here tonight, and there is plenty of action and plenty to discuss as well. We will be kicking off this evening by hearing from yours truly regarding the Royal Rumble situation, but it is the main event that we should be paying attention to as well. A very entertaining main event on its way for you, as the British Empire, Drew McIntyre and Neville team up to take on the duo that represents ECW, the man with the worst personality in the world, Minoru Suzuki, and the ECW champion himself, Seth freaking Rollins. McIntyre is of course the number one contender as a result of what happened last week. Rollins ready to get personal and get heated with Drew McIntyre. That is all to come here tonight. That main event's going to be a great one. I can't wait to see Minoru Suzuki slap the sense out of Drew McIntyre. What sense he has left thinking he can take the title away from Seth Rollins. That is all to come, as I said. We're going to start things off here tonight, though, as I said, from yours truly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the A Show, to ECW. We've got a great show coming up for you tonight. To be fair, you would expect that from us. But I have plenty of news to get to as well. And yes, it is all about the event you love, the Royal Rumble. Firstly, allow me to announce who will represent ECW in this prestigious match. I can reveal the men representing ECW as we seek a Royal Rumble victory and a WrestleMania main event are Adam Cole, Kenny Omega, Katsuyori Shibata, Tetsuya Naito, Andrade, Cien, Almas, and finally, Neville. Though these men are representing ECW, that is not all who will be in the match, flying the flag of the A Show. It is with deep regret that I say, as a result of actions taken at New Year's Revolution and last week on ECW, both John Cena and Kurt Angle sustained injuries, taking them out for an undisclosed amount of time, removing them from the Royal Rumble. As a result of this, we will have 2 qualifying matches added to the one we already have on tap for you. Tonight, Apollo Crews will take on Tyler Breeze, and next week Chris Jericho will face Minoru Suzuki. With that being said, we hope you enjoy tonight's show and the action that will be coming your way, especially in the main event, as Seth Rollins will be back in action once more, preparing for his title match at the Royal Rumble with Drew McIntyre. That's enough for me though, so let's start this night with some cruiserweight action. Enjoy ECW, and of course, you are all welcome. Nailed it! There you go. There's your news delivered for you. You're very welcome. I know I do it better than everyone else. Nevertheless, let's kick off this evening's action of ECW. As I said, this match is going to be a cruiserweight action. It's a cruiserweight battle royal. And what it is as well is it's to determine who goes to the Royal Rumble. Yes, I know. This is the other qualifying match that I was on about. Yes, there will be there was only going to be one qualifying match, but as a result of things that happened to John Cena and Kurt Angle, that kind of got added to 3. They will all happen here tonight, however. As you can see, Mustafa Ali making his way out first. This is a 5-man battle royal involving the 5 men who were in the Cruiserweight ladder match at New Year's Revolution, who didn't walk out with the Cruiserweight Championship. There's a rule we have within this universe. Main roster champions, not a fan of them in the Royal Rumble. And that's the way that things have worked. I don't like champions being in the Rumble personally. The general managers have agreed to with the same, and the higher-ups are the ones who have enforced the rule anyway, so we kind of have to follow it. So here towards the ring comes Cedric Alexander anyway. Ali and Alexander would love this opportunity. And I can think of something else they would love that's coming up just after the Royal Rumble, and that's going to be the King of the Ring. More on that when we get the chance. There'll be more info on King of the Ring after the Royal Rumble itself. You never know, I might say, oh, I want Apollo Crews in the King of the Ring, and then he wins here tonight, somehow wins the Royal Rumble, and then goes on to, I don't know, win King of the Ring as well, while having a main event shot at WrestleMania. Of course, to do that, he's got to be the former Royal Rumble winner here tonight, so that's pretty interesting. But nevertheless, Cedric Alexander ready and raring to go here in this 5-man battle royal. Of course, an advantage for the British Empire is they already have a man in the match in Neville. They have a man in the ECW Championship match in Drew McIntyre as a result of what we saw last week. And of course, they can have another one in here tonight should Zack Gibson or Zack Sabre Jr. walk out with that victory. It's all important that they do just that. But this man, of course, would be loving to put the brakes on that. Buddy Murphy, who had a fine performance last week against Hiromu Takahashi, even if he did come out on the losing side of things, he did put in a very, very impressive performance. I must say it indeed. And hence why Murphy is in this battle royal as well. Murphy, of course, was the reason why the 6-man ladder match at New Year's Revolution took place. And now, here he is in a 5-man battle royal, looking to be gifted an opportunity at the Royal Rumble. I think, if I was to guess out of all of these guys who would do the best job, I hate to say it, but it would be someone from the British Empire, because if they could get in the ring while Neville's in the ring, they can work together, they can get some eliminations, they can help whittle down the field, and help each other towards winning that Royal Rumble. If I was just to go off of performance alone, I might be inclined to go with Mustafa Ali, because I think Ali can hang in there for a long time. I think he's got the heart, the spirit, the determination. I think he's got all of that leading him towards that, towards the ability to hang in there for a long time, like we've seen from other guys in the Royal Rumble, like we saw from, who was it last year? Kota Ibushi, I believe it was last year, because that was a long survivor. So too was Naito. But yeah, definitely if Gibson or Sabre Jr. get in and Neville comes in the ring with them, it could be good success for the British Empire on hand. 2 is, of course, more than 1. Gibson heading towards the ring right now. The newest member of the British Empire, of course, joined at the start of this series of the universe, and now has a great chance for him lined up, a trip to the Royal Rumble. Gibson would certainly enjoy that one. It's been a great few months for the British Empire, hence why in the year-end awards they've been nominated for Faction of the Year. This last quarter of the year has been outstanding for them. And I say that as a guy who doesn't really like the British Empire because, of course, they target Seth Rollins. So, you know, I'm kind of inclined to not like them as well. That being said, I have to acknowledge what they've done, and I have to acknowledge the performance, certainly, of one Drew McIntyre. Hence why he's getting the shot at Seth Rollins just over a week from now at the Royal Rumble. Hard to believe it's been a year since Okada stunned us all at last year's Royal Rumble. It's almost been a year already since that stunning revelation when the Rainmaker made his way out, stunned us all, and won the Royal Rumble. Definitely have not... it feels like I still haven't had enough time to live down the Rainmaker making his debut on the main roster 24 hours after having his head kicked into a pole. But As a result of what happened last night on SmackDown Live, there may be questions over if Okada's going into a second Royal Rumble. We'll have more for that, of course, next week on SmackDown Live. But as for now, here comes the last man out this evening. Zack Sabre Jr. heading towards the ring, ready and rearing to go for this one. Sabre Jr. would love nothing more than to be in the Royal Rumble. Breakout Star of the Year nominee, of course, alongside with being in the Faction of the Year nominee. It was a great year for Zack Sabre Jr. 2 Cruiserweight Championship reigns. But now he goes without that belt. Right now, you never know, Sabre Jr. or the British Empire might have something in mind to try and get that belt back from the time bomb Hiromu Takahashi. As for right now, there's a battle royal at hand that these guys need to concern themselves with, because only one of these 5 is going to the Royal Rumble, and it's time to find out which one it is going to be. Buddy Murphy taking a step back right now as the British Empire section off the ring. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali in a bit of trouble here. Gibson looking for an early elimination of Cedric. That's not going to work. I will agree with Murphy's ideology here, though. Standing back as he was, but now going after Zack Gibson on the early go into this. We're going to try and get him out of the ring early on. Cedric Alexander going to join in as well here. Trying to get Gibson out here. Trying to put the Empire at a disadvantage. Gibson teetering. 2 boots now pushing up against his body. But oh, great agility there from Zack Gibson. Reverse Rana, meanwhile, from Mustafa Ali and Zack Sabre Jr. Those 2 guys certainly have had it out in the Cruiserweight division throughout this year. From July onwards, the Cruiserweight title has certainly been focused around those 2. And the third party of Hiromu Takahashi as well. Lovely neck breaker to Cedric there. Sabre Jr. recovering under the ropes. Meanwhile, Gibson and Murphy doing battle. Snap German suplex there to Zack Gibson and Zack Sabre Jr. going after Ali, but Murphy is the one who wants a piece of him right now. The best kept secret, wanting his hands on the 2-time Cruiserweight champion. Spinning back fist there by Cedric, who puts Murphy up against the ropes now. Murphy, though, able to send him up against the ropes. By the turnbuckle, rather. See what's going on meanwhile. Gibson, double underhook. Ooh! Double underhook gut buster with a different variety of it there. Knees into the gut. Very nicely done indeed. Murphy might be looking to suplex Gibson out here. Gibson with a great counter, though. Hammerlock back suplex. Out of the ring he goes. Zack Sabre Jr. looking to get Cedric Alexander out of this ring now. Will he succeed? The British Empire dominating the ring right now, but Cedric still in this battle royal. May only have 5 men in it, but it certainly could toughen you up for the Royal Rumble. Make sure that you don't go over that top rope. Make sure your feet don't touch the floor so you can stay in this battle royal. And I never thought I'd see the day that Ali and Sabre Jr. would work for the same common goal. Trying to get Cedric Alexander out here, but Cedric hanging on in there. Will these 2 bitter rivals, though? No. I was going to say, will these 2 bitter rivals get an elimination? The answer is no. Cedric still hanging on in this one. Dropkick attempt by Murphy is countered. Hammerlock. DDT now from Zack Gibson. And look at this. Sabre Jr. taking his aggression out on both Ali and Cedric. That could be a big mistake made by the submission wizard. Gibson has Murphy. And it doesn't look like Murphy's going to be staying in this one much longer. Look at this from Gibson. Power bomb. Out of the ring. And out of the match goes Buddy Murphy. Gibson with a brutal elimination there of him. Murphy clattering to the outside. He is out of this one. Alexander, Ali, Gibson, and Sabre Jr. are the 4 left. Which one of these will be going to the Royal Rumble? Sabre Jr. trying to get Cedric out of the ring. They couldn't succeed. Cedric will succeed. Sabre Jr. is out of here. And that 2-time Cruiserweight champion is not going to the Royal Rumble. Zack Gibson. Oh, he's hanging in there still. The British Empire's sole hopes rely on Gibson, but he fights his way out of things there. Gibson now, there's no easy way of putting it, at a 2-on-1 disadvantage here. Ali and Cedric, allies, friends as well, and working together right now. But it is every man for themselves. Look at this counter from Cedric Alexander as well. Every man for themselves being used to the truest extent right there. The back suplex from Gibson. But now with both these guys down, Gibson could use this to his advantage. Will he, though? Could we be seeing Cedric Alexander about to give way here in this match and leave it between Ali and Gibson for the shot in the Rumble? Cedric still fighting. And look at this capture suplex now. Able to lock his hands in though, despite having the leg of Zack Gibson locked. And Mustafa Ali now getting aggressive with Cedric. If these guys want to win, they might want to wait until after Zack Gibson's out of the ring to start doing this. But it doesn't seem as if that matters to them. Super kick and Cedric's gone. And then there were two. Zack Gibson and Mustafa Ali remain. One of these guys is going to the Royal Rumble. But the question is, which one will it be? Cedric, so close but not close enough. Now it is between Zack Gibson and Mustafa Ali to see who is going to the Royal Rumble. And it might be Gibson. Hammerlock DDT. This was the prelude to the move that helped him eliminate Murphy. But Ali is still hanging on in there. Ali is still fighting, but so too is Gibson. And Liverpool's #1. He's in trouble, actually. Look at this. Working on the leg is Mustafa Ali there. And he's starting to get fired up a little bit now, but can Ali keep it going? Can he use it to will his way into that Royal Rumble match? Into that qualifying spot? Zack Gibson doing everything to make sure that isn't the case. Hammerlock, Northern Lights suplex, and these two guys now trading an awful lot to try and get the other one eliminated. Ali yet to have an elimination in this match, but the final one will be the biggest because the final one could take him to the Royal Rumble. But it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. He's going to have the same fate as Buddy Murphy. Ali is out of here. Gibson wins. And that means the British Empire have two men in the Royal Rumble. And Gibson is all too happy for it as well. Gibson wins, and that means that Neville and Zack Gibson will represent the British Empire in the Royal Rumble match. 7 men now representing ECW, but 2 definitely will be representing the British Empire first and foremost. Gibson, your winner. Ali, so close again. Just not close enough. That is how we kick things off here in ECW, so there we go. Good stuff there, but it's time to move on to our next contest of the evening. Oney Lorcan will do battle with one half of the #1 contenders to the ECW Tag Team titles. That was a mouthful, but it's Tommasso Ciampa versus Oney Lorcan up next. Last week, of course, DIY became the #1 contenders to the ECW Tag Team titles. They defeated Roderick Strong and Chris Jericho to win it, but now Oney Lorcan has said that he wants to represent his leaders. He wants to represent the men who are going to guide him to a successful career, and the best way to do that is to try and achieve what they could not, and that is by defeating Tommasso Ciampa in one action. It was Ciampa, of course, who picked up the pinfall using his knee brace in a rather aggressive manner against Chris Jericho. Said after the match, though, backstage to the Horsemen, that is just how it goes. You got to risk it all to get the win. You have to sacrifice everything to be the champion. They know that. DIY know that. And the 4 Horsemen know that. Of course, another duo who know that are Downfall, the ECW Tag Team Champions. And of course, DIY will get their rematch with them next Sunday at the Royal Rumble. That's going to be a very entertaining match. There's absolutely no doubt about it. But until then, DIY have to do everything in their power to make sure that things are going right for them. Gargano and Ciampa heading towards the ring here. It has to be said that although they had a shaky time following the loss of their tag team titles, the start of this new year has been nothing but exceptional for them. They have been strong. They've been good. They've been champions. They've been championship quality once again. But the big question is, do they have it in them to win those ECW tag team titles for a 3rd time over the mighty Downfall? They may have conquered the Authors of Pain. They may have conquered the British Empire. But Downfall have proven in a short amount of time that they are something else. That much is for certain. Strong going to be at ringside for this one alongside Gargano. There's Lorcan and Ciampa, 2 hard-hitting men in the ring who we will pay attention to. And so here we go. Let's do this between Oney Lorcan and the Psycho Killer. The deed is already done, of course. Tommasso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano will be facing downfall, whatever the result of this match is. Only Lorcan, though, would love a big win here to really put on his resume. He's had some entertaining matches since joining ECW. Picked up an elimination in the clean sweep of Magnum Opus at Survivor Series, but he wants that big win, and over a 2-time ECW Tag Team Champion and I believe former Cruiserweight Champion, that would be the big win that he would be seeking. Hammerlock on Ciampa right now, and a King of the Ring finalist as well. Ciampa's achieved quite a lot in this universe. The way he's yanking on that hammerlock right now, trying to take Ciampa off guard, but Ciampa transitions it in. Bourgeois armbar position and yanks that arm back as well. Oney Lorcan just caught out there. He went for a knee there, using the one with the knee pad on it. That time he got it. There definitely is a knee pad over that brace, so at least that's a good thing, you know. It's not as if he's using it as a blatant weapon. There is at least a pad covering it. Ciampa unable to capitalize there over Oney Lorcan, however. Couldn't take advantage with the go behind. Neither, though, could Oney Lorcan, in all fairness. Ciampa from behind. Oh, nicely done. Good leg drop there by Tommaso Ciampa, but Oney Lorcan really quite stubborn in this matchup right now. Hanging in there an awful lot, countering an awful lot as well. Big Uranagi slam out of the corner, though, by Tommaso Ciampa. Go behind now, German suplex. He gets it. And Ciampa showing his will and his determination. This is what they need next Sunday if they want to knock off Downfall, if they want to walk out with those tag team titles. Trio of German suplexes. Ciampa, though, unable to capitalize on it. Lorcan unable to take advantage there as well. Ciampa, big powerbomb on Lorcan. Cover made. Roddy watching on as the nod of the head as well as Oney Lorcan gets the early kick out. In the corner now. Lorcan again pulling out the counter. And Lorcan getting one big head of steam here. Big back elbow and Ciampa taking off his feet. I don't think you can prepare for the head of steam that Lorcan had going into that one. Ciampa still able to get an early enough kick out on it to keep his hopes in this matchup well and truly alive. Lorcan, though, turning him around, targeting the arm now of Tommaso Ciampa. Let's see what else Oney Lorcan has in store for us. Trying to battle for control there with Ciampa. He pulls out the counter and hits the German suplex. Bridges after it as well. Cover on Lorcan, but another early kick out. And the protege of Chris Jericho and Roderick Strong. Good counter. Good lariat as well. The way he followed through with it. Definitely showing some signs of aggression. Up on his shoulders. Might be thinking power slam. Tommaso Ciampa thinking no. And pulling off a no as well on that one. Ciampa going to the turnbuckle. Jericho felt this fate last week. And Lorcan will feel the same. No knee brace on that one, but the running knee still connected. Cover made here. There's 1, 2, and it will do things. Tommaso Ciampa wins. And that knee in the face is definitely taking care of business here on ECW. There's no doubting it. Will it be enough for victory? Come the Royal Rumble, we await to see. Ciampa had to leave the ring, but it seems as if Gargano, before they leave, has something that he wants to say. There you have it, Ciampa standing outside the ring, and Gargano with something to say for them as well. If you haven't just watched that victory, something popped into Johnny Gargano's mind to deliver as a message to everyone. And it is a very interesting start for DIY. Gargano saying that the soul searching that they did made them realize that to be the champions, to beat Downfall, they have to sacrifice almost everything. They have to go to their fullest extent. If that means roughing up a few people, if that means hurting people they would call friends along the way, then so be it. But everyone needs to know these titles mean everything to DIY. That's a fair statement to make, to be honest. And Gargano continuing on by saying that every day they're getting better, they're getting tougher, and they are more and more ready to take those titles away from Downfall. They may have done it once, and they have no excuses for it, but at the Royal Rumble it is do or die for Gargano and Ciampa. DIY will not let themselves down. They will not let the people down. So to close things out, Johnny Gargano says this: Downfall better be prepared. They can say all they want, but they are ready for what DIY has coming their way. Those belts mean everything to them, and they will sacrifice everything to get them. Let this be known as the day when the tables turned and when DIY were ready for number 3. Very heartfelt words from Gargano. You can tell how much they crave, how much they desire these ECW Tag Team titles. They need them more than anything else from Downfall. The question is, though, will they get them at the Royal Rumble? That is something that we will find out just over a week from now. There is certainly no doubting the fact that this match is oh so personal to to DIY. There is no denying it. Well, it's time to continue on here with the action on ECW. And we move on to our next thrilling contest. Sami Callihan will go one-on-one against Andrade, Cien, and Almas. Of course, Callihan's tag team partner, the Switchblade Jay White, not only is the ECW television champion, but came under fire from Jay White last week following... from Andrade, Cien, Almas. There we go. Following the... following Andrade's sudden desire to attack him after a victory over Kyle O'Reilly. We saw it to close out the evening on ECW. Andrade stormed to the ring and hit the hammerlock DDT on Jay White. White not here tonight as a result of the 8-man battle royal at New Year's Revolution and the match that transpired last week, and the attack from Andrade has sustained a minor concussion. It was in his best interest to not be here tonight, to instead wait at home to recover. However, that has left his tag team partner to go this one alone, and not only against Andrade, of course, but against Zelina Vega. Ellie Delo will be going into the Royal Rumble, however, the ECW Television Championship not being defended at the Royal Rumble. We already have the ECW Tag Team titles for that one. But nevertheless, Andrade has an opportunity to further get under the skin of the Switchblade. And he can do that here tonight by targeting his tag team partner, especially when Jay White is not here this evening, especially when White is recovering from his injuries. That being said, Sami Callihan, of course, has a grand opportunity in his own right, the chance to take away Andrade's undefeated streak. And he would love to do that for his tag team partner. But of course, Andrade has had a stellar time since his debut, which was only a short few months ago in this universe, and is nominated for Debut of the Year within this universe as well, alongside the likes of the wrestler Katsuyori Shibata, the Time Bomb Hiromu Takahashi, and Ronda Rousey to go along with it. Just a few named there. But Andrade looking to make it more than just a Debut of the Year award. This year he might be looking to head towards Superstar of the Year. The way his current form is going, there's no doubting it. And with Zelina Vega by his side, there's certainly no doubting as well the reality that Andrade has an awful lot to be confident about and an awful lot to rely on as well. Zelina Vega, pretty much the master tactician of everything, the one who leads Andrade to his victories, the one who comes up with the game plans for how to beat their opponents. The same could well be said here tonight for Sami Callihan. We will be about to find out, however. Andrade vs. Callihan could well be a thrilling contest. There's no denying it. We'll just wait to see how it goes in just a moment. Callihan ready to go. Chance for revenge, as I previously stated. Andrade, though, I'm sure he doesn't really see it as that. He sees it as a chance instead to continue on his reign, and also, of course, to get under the skin of the Switchblade. Not too sure what his reasoning is for it. It's probably, more than likely, just the gold that is around Jay White's waist. Andrade lifting up Sami Callihan now. Looking for the high kick there again, but Callihan able to counter it. Colin elbow tight between the two. To the turnbuckle we go now. What is Callihan got in mind? Being told to break. And that is what Andrade's got in mind. A cheap shot to him there. And a drop kick as well. Referee getting caught up in the mix of it. Not too sure Andrade really cares about that one too much, however. Counter there from Callihan, and he is unable to get anything going right now. Andrade just leading the way here. Everything that we're seeing, Jay White is seeing as well, as he is forced to watch on. Both guys swinging at one another. They're not really getting all of what they were looking for, but it keeps on going. Irish whip. Off the ropes comes Callihan. Duck under from Andrade. German suplex as well from him. Covers Callihan, but the Callihan Death Machine able to kick out relatively early on and able to get a counter going as well. Takes him down now and starts swinging. Clubbing blows heading the way of Andrade, and he is going to try and take a breather out on the apron for a moment. Good counter from Andrade, though. Had enough time to read it. Quick up to the top rope as well, and misses with the drop kick. Callihan literally walking out of the way from it. Andrade, though, is really controlling this match. It has to be said. Callihan is struggling right now to get anything against El Idolo. And that's not saying ill of Callihan. It's saying the promise and the caliber of talent that Andrade Cien Almas truly is. He's this difficult to take apart, if he's this difficult to hope for anything against, how are you going to be able to take him down? How are you going to be able to stop him? And if Jay White is in his line of fire, how is White going to be able to stop him either? Andrade aggressively, as if to try and force Callihan back into this one. Callihan doesn't need a second invitation to shove a forearm right in your face, though. Off the ropes he comes. Twisting neck breaker, controlling the arm in the process. Nicely done. Goes into the cover here, looking to try and put him away. Not going to happen. Really kick out. Andrade able to shrug off those kicks there as well. Nicely done for him indeed. Callihan not going to take that one too kindly. Shoves him down here. Andrade. Oh, no respect. No respect at all showing from Andrade. Slapped him right in the face. Up on the shoulders now. What has he got in mind? Oh, Samoan driver, landslide, whatever you want to call it. He connected with it. It's only a 1 count. Andrade did not seem best pleased about that one at all. Has the arm of Callihan. Gets caught with a forearm in the face again. Callihan now might be thinking cranial contusion. No, Andrade countered him with that lariat. He had that one scouted. There's no doubting that one. And now Andrade could take control here as a result of it. In the turnbuckle goes Callihan. And Andrade in. Double knees right in the face. And this may be the fate of Jay White if Andrade gets what he wants. Hammerlock, DDT to Callihan. And I believe it's another victory to add onto the resume of El Idolo. Andrade Cien Almas wins. And Jay White has to be paying close attention to this. It's a victory sustained for the Royal Rumble as well. But of course, most importantly for Andrade in his mind right now, it is getting under the skin of Jay White. There he is. Andrade celebrating the victory. Zelina Vega with him as well. This is the power duo of ECW right now. There's no denying it. And with everything that is going on, could we see Andrade be on his way to either a Royal Rumble win or Jay White's ECW title? It certainly seems as if he's interested in one over the other right now. But of course, he is in the Royal Rumble match, so you never know what could happen. Speaking of the Royal Rumble match itself, we have our second qualifier of the night coming up next. Apollo Crews versus Tyler Breeze. It's pretty weird to be sat here saying that a former Royal Rumble winner has to qualify for the Royal Rumble. But, see, the thing is, that's not, it is kind of bad. But when you think about it as well, this isn't the only former Royal Rumble winner on this brand. Austin Aries is also on this brand. And Aries isn't even going to the Royal Rumble. He isn't even getting a qualifying match. Apollo Crews is, as is the man to his left, Chris Jericho. It is all about Crews right now, though. Only Lorcan couldn't get a win earlier on in the evening. Could Crews, following up, of course, from his very surprising win last week over Carl Anderson, the Crucifix sustaining him the win, but now he takes on a very, very credible opponent indeed. A very tough opponent. Two-time world champion, former King of the Ring, former United States champion, 2017 Royal Rumble winner, Tyler Breeze. That is not a recipe for an easy victory. If anything, I'm saying about how Cruz is going to, how this isn't going to be an easy victory for Cruz. If anything, this should be a match that Breeze wins. But a lot has changed for Tyler Breeze. He started this year pretty decent, it has to be said. He had a pretty good track record going from at the start of the year, but since then, well, the same can't be said. Things have gone downhill for Prince Pretty. I mean, he took time to... There was a brief time for Tyler Breeze where he said he wouldn't have an entrance. He wouldn't let himself have this all going on because he believed that he didn't deserve it. But now, having returned to Prince Pretty as a result of being aligned with Austin Aries, it must be said that Tyler Breeze has to be back in his comfort zone and maybe back on his way to a Royal Rumble. He had a disappointing performance last year. And of course, 2 years ago was where it all mattered for him. Coming in at number 16, I believe it was, and lasting until the very end, eliminating CM Punk to go to the main event of WrestleMania and win there as well. Could that be repeated again for Tyler Breeze? We could be finding out very soon indeed. One guy looking to have a great opportunity in front of him that could make his career, while the other looking to return to the greatness that he once had. It's definitely two different sides of the pendulum in this matchup right now. I think that is honestly what helps to make it a lot more interesting. Tyler Breeze versus Apollo Crews right now. Here we go between these two. Breeze locking up with Crews right now and hoping that he can get something out of this one. Great counter from Crews right away there on the two-time world champ. Breeze, though, into a hammerlock here. Austin Aries not alongside Tyler Breeze. Breeze believing that this is a singles match. He still has confidence in his ability. As a result of it, Breeze believes that he can get the win here tonight, despite Jericho being at ringside for Apollo Crews. Look at the strength now of Breeze as he hits that electric chair slam. Went for the forearm there, but Crews countered. Thrust kick in the gut. Belly to belly, trying to use his natural strength, but Breeze has had plenty of time to read the game, has had plenty of time to understand what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. It's what you need to be the World Heavyweight Champion twice as well. Good stuff here from Breeze, just keeping it simple but effective right now, and Crews hanging on, but Breeze taking a page out of Jericho's book there. Well, well, well. And Jericho doesn't seem taken too kindly to that either, trying to force him up to his feet here. And telling him get back in that ring, perhaps sending some instruction his way as well. Well, that's what I'm looking for here. Imitation is often the best form of flattery. Deadlift gut wrench suplex, though, nothing. Well, the only thing being flattened about that one is Tyler Breeze's ribs, really, as they crash into the ground. Went for a big kick there, but Breeze able to counter his way out of it, and then takes the leg away from Crews. Crews may be a speed freak. He may be a very complete package of 245 pounds in the speed possesses as well. If you take those legs away from him, Breeze definitely has an advantage to work with, and that is exactly what he's going for. Well executed dragon screw from Prince Pretty in the corner. Flying forearm. Breeze is looking pretty good right now, I have to say it. This is looking much more like the old Tyler Breeze. Look for something there from the go behind. Crews able to counter it. Turns around, Tyler Breeze. Irish whip off the ropes now. Big drop kick and Breeze goes down. Breeze maybe looking for something big there. Good counters from Breeze, and he goes after the leg again here. He's working very smart indeed, it has to be said. Good counter. Tyler Breeze in now, taking every risk that he can in order to help himself towards the Royal Rumble. Lifts him up to his feet. Supermodel kick from Breeze. And is that the move to get the two-time world champion on his way to the Royal Rumble? No, it's a kick out of 2 from Apollo Crews. Close, but not close enough for Prince Pretty. That is certainly the case, as Apollo Crews just uses his power there to take control of the moment. And Apollo Crews may have something big on its way for Tyler Breeze. Gorilla Press Slam incoming. He got it. And the follow-up. Moonsault to Breeze. Covers the two-time champion. Tyler Breeze is beaten. Apollo Crews is going to the Royal Rumble. What a win this is for the young man. Breeze thought he had him. Breeze thought he had his number, but Crews surprises for the second week in a row. First the victory over Carl Anderson, now the victory over Tyler Breeze of all people. And wouldn't you know it, Apollo Crews is going to the Royal Rumble. 8 men on their way to that illustrious event. 1 more to be crowned next week when Suzuki faces Jericho. That one you do not want to miss. But what a surprise there. What a win for Apollo Crews as well. Now, I just talked about Suzuki. And now it's time to talk about our main event. Here we go. The British Empire taking on Minoru Suzuki and Seth Rollins. Main event time indeed on another great episode of ECW. We are about to see just what will happen when these two sides do battle. Neville, of course, going to the Royal Rumble. He will be joined by Zack Gibson. But as for tonight, he is joined by the number 1 contender to the ECW Championship in Drew McIntyre. The 2 front runners, basically, of the British Empire. The leader and the star of it. Heading towards the ring. Neville came up short at New Year's Revolution against Seth Rollins, but it did show the fatigue that Rollins is having in this record-setting reign. It showed, I'm not meaning this as disrespect to Neville, but Rollins has been through tougher matches. Rollins, I don't care about disrespect Neville, to be fair, but Rollins has been through tougher matches. He's been through tougher opponents as well, but he showed in that match he is vulnerable. He is weak. He is not at the same level that he was even when he beat Kenny Omega for the second time round. And what that shows is something that these two can take full advantage of. It shows that there is a worry, a deep worry for me at the least, that we could be on our way towards the end of Rollins' reign. And Drew McIntyre, there is no doubt about it in my mind, would clamour for it to be him. That being said, that is all speculation, that is all hearsay, that is all guesswork. But what is for certain is that here tonight, Drew McIntyre may well get an early feeling of what it's like being in the ring with the greatest of all time. Of course, he had that feeling not long ago, back at last year's Royal Rumble. I say not long ago, and then I just say it was last year's. Anyway, yes, he had that feeling in that match where he lost, but that was where Rollins was at his absolute peak, I believe, or heading towards his peak. And that was where McIntyre was still trying to find his footing on ECW. Now, I think McIntyre is close to Rollins' level, and that's only because Rollins... I'm saying this as someone who thinks Rollins is the best wrestler there ever will be, but he isn't at his peak, and he's showing it. Hopefully this man, though, can help him out a little bit in this matchup. There's no doubt in that. Minoru Suzuki, always able to help when it is necessary, always able to take care of business when it's necessary as well, and that business will involve forearming the jawline off of Drew McIntyre. We can all hope that that will take place, because fan or not of Rollins, fan or not of the British Empire, it's always fun to watch Minoru Suzuki forearm someone in the face. It's always fun to watch them writhe around in pain after it. There's no denying it. But anyway, here comes the man of the century, the man for the rest of the millennia, the man who has carried ECW into greatness and looks to do it for a 3rd calendar year. It is, of course, the ECW champion, Seth freaking Rollins. And my oh my, that is a mighty fine attire to wear as well. Starting off the new year, starting off his first match of the new year in style. The ECW champion, as he has been now for 516, 14, something along those lines. It's incredible to think that it has gone on that long, and in my mind it is not ending next Sunday either. I know I said he might be hurt, I know I said he might not be at 100%. But even then, Rollins not at 100% is still 90% better than the next best wrestler. And the next best wrestler is not Drew McIntyre. That is just a fact. There are plenty better than McIntyre, but there are none better than Rollins. And he will prove that here tonight in this tag team matchup alongside Minoru Suzuki. Rollins not having to risk himself in a big ECW main event, as he has had to do more than once as of late. And that's not as a way of saying as me as a general manager is going easy on Rollins. I mean, I'm not. If I was going easy on Rollins, I would have given him, I don't know, Oney Lorcan as the challenger. That's not meant as offense to Oney Lorcan. I'm just saying that Lorcan isn't ready to challenge for Rollins' title. McIntyre, Neville, Jay White, Tetsuya Naito, Kenny Omega, Kyle O'Reilly, AJ Styles. These have been the last few title defenses for Seth Rollins. How am I going easy on this man? Still find it ludicrous to think that I'm... Yes, I will agree that Rollins is absolutely outstanding. I agree with myself on that one. But at the same time, you don't have the A show by giving him easy opponents. You don't have the best show of the week each and every week just by having very easy opponents and very easy challenges to your title. That's just not how it works. If you're the champion, you gotta know you're taking on the best that roster has to offer. And Rollins has been aware of that since day one of his reign. He's aware of it right now as the British Empire are taking control of Minoru Suzuki here. Tag made already. Neville getting involved here. The British Empire may have the same game plan. Keep things restricted for McIntyre. Well, that means Neville has to do battle with Minoru Suzuki. Big slam down on the arm there by the man with the worst personality in the world. And it seems as if Suzuki is just dragging Neville about because he can. Rollins does one in this one, and he is going to get in as well. Here we go, the ECW champion adding into this match now, continuing on where we left off at New Year's Revolution. Northern Light suplex to Neville, into the cover. Kick out at one there. Now, Rollins doesn't usually wrestle with that, that's what I'm looking for. I don't want to call it a jacket, but I guess it is. That part of his attire, the jacket. He never usually wrestles with that on. I mean, it might just be a part, it might just be him, maybe, wanted to take it relaxed. But, yeah, just a little bit interesting to see that is the case. Rollins right now, though, has Neville right where he wants him. God's last gift connects with it. Doesn't go for the cover after, however. Neville, though, is on the back foot right now. I'm surprised that Rollins is wanting to fight here as much as he is right now. Locking that arm in and wrenching that arm back as well on Neville. That is a painful submission hold to be in. The leader of the British Empire able to evade his way out of it. And oh no, this isn't good for Rollins in the turnbuckle, and the tag is made. We are going to get the preview to the Royal Rumble right now. Drew McIntyre, the legal man here. And Seth Rollins stands right in front of him. Rollins, though, quick to counter the strikes and the chops of McIntyre. Hits with that dropkick as well. Standing moonsault from the champion as well. If I was Rollins, though, I would tag out to Suzuki. Not out of fear, not out of backing down, but just out of safety, really. But Rollins definitely isn't doing that. Avara Kedavra strikes there on McIntyre. Rollins may think but he has him here. Cover on McIntyre, but a very early kick out. Rollins, though, starting to fight back against McIntyre right now. Another standing moonsault there from the ECW champion. Definitely showing no signs of fear towards McIntyre, towards his #1 contender, whatever state he may be in, Rollins is always on top of his game. Trying to hold on the arm there, McIntyre able to wiggle his way out of it though. Rollins left himself open, and that was all that McIntyre needed to slip back in there. And you know for a fact that McIntyre is going to take in every moment that he can of being in the same ring as Seth Rollins before the Royal Rumble, of being able to do whatever it takes to hurt or to get under Seth Rollins' skin. He will absolutely capitalize on every ounce of it that he can. Good count from Rollins in the turnbuckle, however. McIntyre goes face first into it as a result of it. Neville calling for the tag there, but that was a distance to travel that Rollins was never going to be able to make. Suzuki getting in a cheap shot, but now the tag is made. Suzuki, the legal man here. Double stomp into the back of McIntyre. And I think this is a smart plan by Rollins. I have to say it, this idea of, stay out the ring, don't get in the ring for too long, don't spend too much time in the ring, don't risk something problematic happening. I mean, the Royal Rumble's close, it's only just over a week away. And the more that Suzuki could do to McIntyre as well, the better. Big kick in the face there by Drew McIntyre, however, to Minoru Suzuki, the man with the worst personality in the world. Definitely being used to try and take something away from Drew McIntyre, but that ain't happening right now as the British Empire has the leader back in the ring. Neville returning being the legal man in this one alongside Suzuki. Rollins, you could see there was thinking about maybe wanted to get a tag back in this match. I don't think that's such a wise decision, if I'm being honest, though. Suzuki does throw him into the turnbuckle and does make the tag in. The faces of ECW are working well together. Has to be said. Big lariat by Rollins. Probably even bigger, to be fair, with Suzuki. More impactful anyway. No offense, Rollins, but Suzuki is... well, he's lethal. Arm drag, though, by Neville. Continuing on things from New Year's Revolution. Neville rolls, slides through the legs. Hurricanrana on Rollins as well. He got all of it, and this is in the British Empire's corner as well. This is their advantage. They can use this in order to have some success in this match, trying to corner off Rollins a little bit. Sends him back into the turnbuckle, but again, he won't allow McIntyre to get tagged in here. Instead of having to force McIntyre off the apron there. Rollins suplex back in the ring now. Let's see what he'll look for now. Here we go. Has Neville right where he wants him. A Varacadabra to Neville. Got all of it. Got all of it. Neville in big trouble right now. Rollins looking at Kenny Omega. V-Trigger. Cover on Neville to put him away. But McIntyre was there from the moment that count was going to start. And he runs down Neville to go along with it. Runs down Rollins to go along with it. Rollins getting up to his feet first, of course. Neville not recovering from the V-trigger there, but Neville able to counter. If anything, he definitely needs to make a tag out here, and indeed he has. Here we go. McIntyre, the legal man again, getting his hands on the ECW champion. This is where Rollins needs to seriously consider tagging out here. This is where Suzuki needs to start thinking about trying to force Rollins to make the tag in. Rollins is stubborn. He does like... he will fight as much as he can. And that is a mistake to be made. You do not want to be in that frame of mind in a tag match when you've shown that you aren't always at 100%. Look at the strength of McIntyre now, throwing Rollins across the ring with that belly-to-belly. And McIntyre feeling awfully confident about it. Suzuki is begging for the tag. I don't think Rollins knows where he is right now, in all honesty. Good counter. Super kick right in the gut there from Rollins, however. Front face lock. Take him to the turnbuckle. Tagging Suzuki. Business as usual. Smart business as well. That's the ropes, Rollins. That ain't smart business. As the ECW champion goes up and over to the outside. I think McIntyre is honestly just biding his time here. He is just playing around with Rollins. In the turnbuckle he goes. And Suzuki has no choice but to tag himself in here either. It is smart that he would do that as well. He is willing to sacrifice his own skin in order to make sure that Rollins is safe. McIntyre in there, big counter. And look, oh, great duck under there by Suzuki, and he goes after the leg. Rollins might be down on the outside, Suzuki might be on his own, but as if that's going to stop him from being able to take control of this matchup as he sees fit. Suzuki only knows one way, and that's his way. Armbar applied here now, yanking on McIntyre's arm, trying to pull it as far back as he can, trying to bend it in a way that the arm is not meant to bend. McIntyre punching his way out of it, and you got to think Suzuki probably enjoyed that. Probably enjoyed getting punched in the face. Saito suplex there though. You can see the fatigue Rollins is having. He is holding on to that ring rope. McIntyre though, future shock DDT, future shock to Suzuki, the cover made, and oh, there's a kick out of 2. This one ain't over yet, there's no denying that. McIntyre might have thought that things would have been ended there, but that wasn't the case. Suzuki just too resilient and still hanging on in there. Neville now, the legal man in this one. And the arm. And look at this, roll up by Neville, thinking he's done enough to try and finish off Suzuki. You're trying to steal one, as if you're going to be able to do that against Minoru Suzuki of all people. Oh, Suzuki looked like he had a really bad shot lined up there. Neville must be counting his lucky charms that missed. Vest didn't know. Sleeper hold by Suzuki. Come on, Suzuki, make him tap out. Make him tap out. Not going to happen. Neville fights his way out of that one. Both men staggering up to their feet. Good counter from Suzuki. Tackles him down there. It's pretty much all it was. It wasn't a spear. He just tackled him down. Suzuki feeling pretty confident about himself right now. Jogging on the spot a little bit. Counter there by Neville. Counter by Suzuki as well with that Uranagi. He's doing good. Suzuki is doing very good indeed. Leg DDT now onto Neville. And this is why he's the bodyguard. This is why he's tasked with looking after Rollins. I think he just busted open Neville with those hard hits. Indeed, he did. Nice. I love it. No care from Suzuki what he does in this ring. So long as it's causing pain and punishment, he takes pride in it. Suzuki. Well, Rollins might have wanted back in there, but that wasn't allowed. Oh! What a chop! What a chop from Suzuki! And then he just brutalizes Neville's arm after it. Man, I would never want to be on the opposite end of Minoru Suzuki. But look at this, though. Tag made. Rollins in. So too is McIntyre. And here we go. They face off again. The participants in the ECW Championship match at the Royal Rumble meet again. Great duck under the clothesline. Big knee in the face by Rollins. Rollins fired up. Ready and raring to go here against McIntyre. Forearm. And another forearm connect. Can he get the sling blade? No, McIntyre evaded it from behind. Big back suplex to Rollins. And that all of a sudden seems to have just grounded Rollins right in his tracks. Headbutt, headbutt. Headbutt from McIntyre. Wait a minute, no way. No way. McIntyre has Rollins set up. Claymore kick. Claymore kick to Rollins. Suzuki can't make the save, but Rollins kicks at it too. Oh, thank God. But the question has to be now, are Suzuki and Rollins in trouble? They've both had to kick out of finishers from Drew McIntyre. Rollins going up high, gonna risk it all. Is it gonna be the Phoenix Splash on its way for us? No, it's gonna be the Frog Splash that McIntyre evaded. Knees into the ribs of Rollins. McIntyre now retorting to the roll-up, taking a page out of Neville's book. He rolls up Rollins, he stole one! McIntyre just pinned Rollins on the road to the Royal Rumble. The British Empire win. McIntyre just pinned the champion. And I'm starting to think a few things in my head, and I'm not too sure if I want to say them out loud because the British Empire may take note of it. Rollins Oh no. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna say it. Rollins, there might be something wrong with his ribs. Think about it. All these hard-fought matches, all those top rope ventures, all those big moves he has to execute, all the punishment he takes. The frog splash is countered. He grabs onto the ribs, and he's unable to kick out from the roll-up. There may be injured ribs that Seth Rollins is dealing with. That is pure speculation. But what isn't speculation, what is fact, is that Drew McIntyre just pinned Seth Rollins. And if he does that a week from Sunday, he's the ECW champion. That is a very big statement to think about. And with this victory, it suddenly looks more likely. That ends this episode of ECW. A lot to talk about, especially with this main event. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, guys. And hurrah.